Hello again guys, welcome back, Stills and Trails. This is Nick here. Thanks for joining me on my flipping adventure. Today is a video in Amroth. I went there not knowing what Amroth was. You know, I knew it was a village. I didn't know it had all of the World War II sort of trials for D-Day there. I didn't even know it really had a castle. We just went there after Folly Farm. It was a long day. We went to Saundersfoot and Tenby. We just fancied a bit of a chill out and have a meal. But I realised, hang on a second, this place is so cool. It's got so much importance when it comes to D-Day and World War II in itself, and the castle, you know, it being taken over by the government to house all the soldiers and that, and when they were doing these sort of trials. But I still did a little video on it, guys, so sorry if it's not super historically accurate, but I hope you enjoy. Well, today we went to Folly Farm and we thought, you know what, we'll actually spend a little bit of time in Amroth as well, because we had a spare evening. So we're going to just go to the beach and maybe grab some grub, take a little stroll out, just have a calm sort of chilled evening, and maybe I'll get a drone out if the weather's alright. It's been quite windy today, but just to do a little bit of a view of Amroth beach. To be honest, it's probably highly unlikely I'm going to get a drone out. It is actually extremely choppy. You can see on the actual coast there's sort of quite a lot of waves in there, and it's actually quite strong waves as well. But Amroth Beach is massive. It goes all the way down to the other side down there, and that is actually Tenby over there. No, Saundersfoot, apologies, Saundersfoot. Like we mentioned on the video, we were walked so halfway across there. There's Wiseman's Bridge there. Tenby's further down over there, but yeah, we was going to walk sort of down here. We chose not to, but yeah, this is a lovely beach here, and Fion's now hit beach number 3. We had to give her a bit of a nap, give her a bit of grub. Now thought, like I said, chill out evening, have a little stroll and enjoy the scenery which we have here while we can. It's not very often I go to the beach, so quite happy. So yeah, so Amroth is actually like a very small little village next to the sea, but it has a beautiful little beach. It's quite rocky. You can see this sort of sandbars all on this part of it here, and then it goes like pretty much sort of sand from this point onwards. But I would say this would be quite a nice little place to live, wouldn't it? If you wanted to get away and be out in the sticks, but in a very nice sort of place, Amroth will be right up your road. It's got a couple of cafes on the front. It's got a pub or two. Got some nice little houses, mate. Fair play. I like that one up there. It's got like the sort of the ivy growing up on the house itself. But as you can see, it's very windy. And lucky we didn't walk all the way down from Saunders to the last time, so that would have been a heck of a walk. But it's too, like I say, it's too strong of a wind to get a drone out. I don't even think my friend Alicia's Maverick 3 would even deal with this on the coast. It's quite strong. But as you can see, all sand all the way down then from here. It's got that very strong sort of salty sea sort of smell around here as well, which is actually quite pleasant for me. Brings back a lot of memories, and I reckon some really good crab pools here as well. Actually, looking at this water coming out of here, maybe is a natural water flowing river, because it looks actually very clean feeding down there. I reckon there'd be some good crabbing down there. As I said, Wiseman's Bridge is there. Got the cliff sides here, but it took a long time for us to get around that, even on the beach. It looks quite rocky there, and that's Saundersfoot just in the background. So there's like a small little garden around here which has got some quite cool architecture. So they've done a fish here, and it's all inside of this is plastics and stuff that gets sort of drifted onto the beach. They're well into this sort of past pollution, forming as our problem. We're the ones that create plastic, and we let it go into the sea, and it takes hundreds, if not thousands of years for stuff to break down. Some of the plastics that are out in the ocean will never actually go away. This is meant to be a massive island in the middle of the Atlantic, purely made out of plastics. But yeah, they've done this to showcase that they need to turn the tide on us throwing plastics into the water, be more eco-friendly and recycle, and I think it's quite cool. And to be fair, the beaches around here are very clean. They got this thing called like a tidy, a 2-minute tidy thing, so you actually got a free pickup clamps and you can grab stuff. And this is also cool. It's Exercise Jantzen. This was basically training for D-Day for World War II. And it says down here then. So before they attempt any landings on Normandy Beach, they need to understand how they're going to land, how they're going to put all the equipment, supplies onto the beaches, and they were doing various sort of different styles and various sort of exercises to make sure they got it correct. Landing craft troops, steering ramp barges, vehicles, and that. They made sure that they were designated, so Amroth designated UNV sections managed by number 5 beach aircraft, RAF beach units. Yeah. There's a lot right in there. I'll do this, so if you can zoom in, have a little look. There's also cool little photos of that time. So even being a very small village on the coast of the Welsh, or South Wales, it has a lot of historical importance when it comes to World War II as well, like the training exercises, and it's been shaped in a certain way. On that plaque you were saying that areas were bulldozed, rock was moved, and there was a few other things that happened actually to shape it, to make it feel a little bit more like Normandy, and it'd be a bit better for the actual practice. Yeah, and eventually leading to a semi-successful landing. Obviously it was, I wouldn't want to be there. That would have been extremely frightening and a lot of bloodshed, so you can't really call it success when people died, but at the end of the day it helped change the tide of the battle for Europe. Nice little statue there as well, nice little cutout. Ooh, look what we got. Fion's looking excited. Fion's been snacking on cheese puffs and now she wants some chips. So here's the weather. That's how quickly it can flip and change. Getting absolutely crazy out here now. Oh, but yeah, what I was going to do, I was going to say, this is Amroth Castle. It's actually now a caravan park. What I'll do is I'll make a little short video after, because I'm getting absolutely soaking here, about the background of this castle. And that is the castle. Oh. Right. It's a clubhouse in the castle, yeah. But they've also got this sort of like buildings by here as well. Alright. So we drove past the remains of the castle in Amroth Castle. Basically it's changed hands quite a few times, but we'll go through a little bit of the history just after some of the clips that I've shown. When it comes to Amroth, it's gone through quite a substantial change in history, really. It's a grade listed 1 building. It's also a castellated country house, I think it is. So basically a castellated country house means that it's a country house that's got sort of walls around it, or what do you call it now, battlements or something like that, I think it is. I've got a cheat sheet here to give me a hand with this one, because I was completely unaware this was there, to be honest. But yeah, it's mental the changes it's had. It's a 15th century foot-in to it, and there's an 18th century building on top, so it's got quite a lot of history, but it's gone through multiple hands over the course of that time. It started off being a feudal residence. I'm assuming that would be from like the 15th century up to about the 18th or so, and then after that it was bought to be a private lunatic asylum, which you can kind of understand is quite a big property. It's quite a large building considering, and it would be perfect because it's out the way for such an asylum. After that, it's got one of probably its most prolific owner, I would say, and that was Owen Colby Phillips, who you probably know was the owner of the White Star Line, and the White Star Line is got a lot of history to it, and everyone should know that company by the losses they had with the likes of the Titanic ship. A very big disaster during those times. Obviously such a big sort of thing that they actually made a movie from it. But then after that, it was requisitioned by the government just before World War II. Like I mentioned about Amroth, it actually done in the village itself. They were doing the D-Day landing, sort of like the practice sort of it, and knowing how to do the drop-offs of supplies and vehicles and troops. And it was sort of because it's just up the road, it was sort of a necessary to have that sort of space. And finally then it was taken over then by, I think it was by the trust or by another family in like the 60s, late 60s, early 70s, and turned into the holiday camp that it actually is. Now me and Amy, in one of the videos we drove in there, had a little look. It has some really nice accommodation there actually. Some of the houses, some of the statics actually have really nice gardens in the back. And we thought to ourselves, if we're going to come back this way, we might have a look to see what the prices are on that. I could probably put a link to their website in the description for you, just in case you fancy staying in the grounds of the castle. We did notice that they had a bar in the building itself, so it might be worth looking in there. Might be some really cool history in there. But yeah, it was an unusual building for us to find, which we weren't too sure was there. Amy might have known, she's been to Amroth once before. I've not been there. Yeah, so it was a surprise for me, but just a quick little video today. I'm probably going to be going, maybe doing a little bit of golf tomorrow. The weather's not really that good, so it's going to be more of a chill out day. But thank you very much for watching, guys. Have a great evening, a great day I should say, and I'll see you in the next video.